Oh, remember before the Super Bowl, I read that a $20 million ad buy had been made by a group of Christian people. I wasn't fully aware of who they were. I am now, thanks to Truth Out website. If you saw the two commercials, one was a 30-second spot in the first half of the game. The other was a 60-second spot in the second half of the game. $20 million. And I mentioned at the time, since these are good Christians who obviously believe in the message of the rabbi from Nazareth, wouldn't you think that a better way to have spent the $20 million would have been to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, house the poor, visit the sick, find forgiveness for the ones in prison? But no. During the Super Bowl ad on Sunday, those two ads, the advertisement was criticized by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who I have on good authority is a Christian. She said that the ads normalize fascism. Now, the $20 million ad buy on the Super Bowl was part of a $100 million media campaign, and the group is calling itself He Gets Us. Ran those two ads on Sunday. However, one of the news investigative organizations discovered last month this He Gets Us group is a subsidiary of the Servant Foundation. That is an organization that has given tens of millions of dollars to the far-right organization entitled or named Alliance Defending Freedom, which really should read, if it were honest, Alliance Proposing Fascism. That organization, Alliance Defending Freedom, is leading the fights all over the country for more anti-abortion laws. It's been designated an anti-LGBTQ hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, and these son of a bitches have the nerve to run an ad about Jesus? Of course they do. This is what Christian fascists do. For her part, Ocasio-Cortez criticized the ads. She went to Twitter. She suggested that they reinforced, the ads did, calls for supposed civility and both-sidedness. Right? There we go with that again. As if the Democrats or the liberals or the progressives were stirring up the filthy, hate-filled shit that these Republican fascist Christians have been doing for decades. And the left hasn't been doing it. But by doing this, what about something tells me Jesus would not spend millions of dollars on Super Bowl ads to make fascism look benign, end quote. Yeah. Now, I guess you saw him if you watched the Super Bowl. One of the ads consisted of a series of photos. I wasn't sure what it was at first. People fighting with each other, including photos depicting these conservative COVID lockdown revolts. Did you see that? It was very quick image on the screen. But there it was, people with their faces distorted, screaming, because they didn't like the fact that the government in its different stages, whether it was county, city, state, or federal, telling people, we're going to have to close the business, we're going to have to close the school, you're going to have to wear a mask, as if that were something that Jesus would have said, no, don't do that. This is how the subtlety of these fascist movements operates. It's very quick. Flashes on the screen. Oh, yeah, anti-COVID people. Oh, yeah, boom. There was a black man yelling at a police officer. Yeah, that makes sense. A white man in a Viking hat yelling through a megaphone at a black man at a protest. The ad then faded off the screen, faded to black, and a message appeared on the screen. Jesus loved the people we hate. What? Jesus loved the people we hate. Call me crazy, but that seems to reinforce the idea that the people I hate, it's okay for me to hate. Well, Jesus loved them, but I can hate them. Or something. Now, the ad also then directed people who saw the ad, the Super Bowl viewers, and there were hundreds of millions, to visit a website that ostensibly says Jesus offers a third way of responding to political and social disagreements. The website reads, quote, "What if we tried to love our enemies the way Jesus loved his?" End quote. Boy, you almost have to take that apart to realize what it says, right? That message of confronting conflict or political or racial or societal hate with civility and love, that's been an ongoing thread across this ad campaign, which is run throughout football season. The other ad, aired during the Super Bowl, encouraged viewers to, quote, "be childlike and imitate children's innocence in approaching life in conflict." And that one directed viewers to another blog post on the site, which also encouraged viewers to embrace the third way that they say Jesus preached. The ad says, quote, "He spoke truth to power, defended the poor and the marginalized, and represented his identity to others consistently." End quote. Now, the organization He Gets Us says their stated goal is to rebrand Jesus, quote, "as he's depicted in the Bible," end quote. No, that's not true, because the Bible clearly shows that Jesus resembles a modern-day socialist. I mean, just go back and read it. And this group claims to be nonpartisan, but behind these bullshit messages, this is what they do. You know, they come across with messages about, he defended the poor and the marginalized, and this is what we should be doing too. Not. When you get deep into who is sponsoring this, but this is how the resistance up front of people who are looking at these ads, how that resistance is broken down. Oh, look, Jesus, yeah, maybe I should be more like Jesus. He gets us, gosh. Wait a minute. One of the people, and I mentioned this before the Super Bowl, one of the people who bankrolled this current media campaign is David Green, the Hobby Lobby prick. And, he's the one that got the landmark Supreme Court case that allowed corporations to deny medical coverage for contraception based on the religious beliefs of people like David Green. Well, I'm an evangelical Christian, and I don't believe people should screw for fun. If you're going to do it, you got to do it to make a baby. There's no such thing as screwing for fun. That's sinful. That's demonic. That's awful. That's terrible. Oh, my God. Now, you know this, that in the political chaos that is today, these so-called conservatives hide behind their supposed Christianity when they attack the lesbian and gay and bi and transgender community, when they attack a woman's right to maintain sovereignty over her own body. That's not very Christian, is it, huh? It's not your body. I'll tell you what to do with your body, bitch. Is that Christian? But these Christian fascists, they use the religion as a front, a trick to diminish or erode people's rights. And they use these ads in this kind of soft sell about, oh, Jesus loves you. He gets us. Oh, come here. Let's not fight. Let's not argue. Come here. Kissy, kissy, kissy. They use this stuff as a recruiting tool to sell Americans on the idea of Christian fascism, which is what this is, this organization. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.